Tate Thrasher, and this is Conservation of Fish. Conservation of fish is important in saltwater and freshwater, so we know that we keep a solid amount of fish in each body of water throughout Texas and the United States. Conservation of fish waterways. So there's different types of waterways. There's rivers, there's ponds, lakes, coasts, which is like the ocean. See, oceans, yeah. And then the canals, and then bays, and all that. So your bays and your oceans will all have trout, redfish, all your saltwater fish, and then your lakes, your ponds, and your rivers will have your catfish, and your bass, and your crappie, and your stripers, and all that. Next one. Why do we have conservation of fish, or why is it important? There's three main reasons that it's important. It's to balance the certain ecosystems of fish, and then fish conservation can help maintain nature's balance in that ecosystem. And then fish conservation allows the sport of fishing to continue generation after generation. It also helps to maintain and balance of certain ecosystems. Fish are important to the planet, and fish conservation can help maintain nature's balance. What that means is it can help balance the different ways of life for each other animal in the ecosystem. National parks are important to fish conservation because they were established to preserve our country's natural treasures, including fish. They restore fish populations, they educate the community on native fish conservation projects, they educate people on preventing the spread of aquatic invasive species, and it just basically on this slide it says basically what I just read off to y'all, how national parks were established to preserve our country's natural, historic, and cultural treasures, including fish. Alright, next slide. Texas Parks and Wildlife programs. There's many different programs within the Texas Parks and Wildlife, such as Texas Parks and Wildlife offers several conservation programs, freshwater inflows and estuaries, studies of coastal issues, river studies, Texas Gulf ecological management sites, and you can go to their website to get information on conservation of fish. Fishing responsibilities. Why do I need to have a license? Your main fishing responsibilities is you're responsible for... Responsible fishing is important to the future of the sport. Responsible fishing protects the fish and the waters they swim in. Fishing responsibly can help ensure that future generations can enjoy the sport as well. So if you are very careful and don't put out a whole bunch of trash and pollutants into your local waters, you'll have good fishing and a nice habitat for those fish for years to come. Why do I need a fishing license? So normally there's a different fishing license for each state. Fishing license actually help to protect the fish population. So that like tells you how many you can keep per day, per person, and all that, and what slot limit or what size they have to be to keep. A state will issue a fishing license and will apply limits to the species of fish, weight and length of the species of fish. Limiting the amount of fish caught helps with the conservation of fish. Why are there limits on how many fish you can keep? These regulations are meant to keep anglers from taking too many fish at one time. So if you take too many fish at one time, then that's going to take a long time for those fish to regain their population. Because fish only have a certain time of year they can spawn, only whenever the water hits a certain temperature. And that's when they spawn and create more population for the fish. Size limits are meant to protect fish of spawning size before they are caught. Fishing seasons protect fish during spawning and limit the catch on heavily fished waters. How to take care of the fishing environment. The way you can take care of the fishing environment is by being an ethical angler, follow the bag size limits for each species, freshwater and saltwater, practice catch and release fishing, which is if you catch one, you release it back into the water. Teach youth to respect the outdoors while fishing. And last but not least, teach others about the animals you share the water with and laws that protect our natural resources. Educate young anglers. So, me and myself, I have my own company or brand, and we go around and we help teach little kids how to fish and how to tie their hooks on and put their lures on and how to work the bait properly and how to cast. And we catch and release the fish, and that's being ethical. We teach young anglers about the importance of fish conservation. We teach them the proper way to measure and weigh the fish they catch, and teach them about catch and release. So that's how I teach young kids. And then here's some pictures of all the camps that I've held, and them all enjoying the fishing and catching fish and having fun and being cool. Here's another picture of me teaching the kids how to put on their lures, and then here's a picture of a kid that caught a fish at the camp. And then here's a little bit about my business. Future Anglers of Texas is the business name. This is my email. I started Future Anglers of Texas fishing camps last summer to teach kids about the importance of fish conservation and to get them interested in the outdoors. My dad taught me so much when I was young about the outdoors, and I just want to pass on the information to other young anglers. And my mother is very nice and helps me with all of my stuff, and I want to be able to run this business without her. And thank you, Mom, for doing that for me. That is my last slide. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to my speech about fish conservation. Thank you.